Good evening and welcome to it. This is Chess and Wine. My name is ADP La. Oh, I've got a story for you. Well, I wanted to tell the story immediately on Sunday or Monday, but I thought, okay, since I've got these videos taken from the event, let me just start by sharing these interviews. Obviously, maybe introduce you to some of the people that were in the event. So maybe when I speak about certain people, you'll know who I'm speaking about. So that is why only now I'm actually telling the story. Very interesting. Past weekend, obviously, the weekend of the 8th of February. Tournament at Uplands. We attended the tournament. I drove in with Muzi, Ngambule, who do you know him as? You know him as, call me Mr. London, right? That patter. Yes, and you know I'm saying as a patter. The funny thing, on our way there, here's the thing. Just always important to give a bit of background to stories, right? So, normally, and I know it's not normal per se, but it's actually something that started a while back. I think from last time I was in the executive committee of the Uplands Chess Federation. There had always been no interest in doing events for the open section. That's basically speaking about the adult players, adult chess, right? So the argument was that there's not enough money to give out prizes for them because if that happens, it seems like the prize money for the open section sort of takes from the entry fees of the junior sections, and then they stopped doing adult sections in every tournament. So they'll have your under 8, under 10, under 12, up to under 18 and under 20, and then the 21 years and above players would not get to play. But then luckily in the executive committee, there was some of us who were adult players, who were coaches, but also, we love chess, we love to play. And we sort of came up with an opinion, with a suggestion that why don't we at least increase the entry fee for the adult players? So instead of them paying 100 Rand, because the entry fee I think was 100 Rand flat for everyone, right? So we were like, okay, so let's just say 200 Rand entry fee for the open section, and then if we have 20 players, at least we've got 2,000 Rands to come up with a what do we call it? Enough prize fund, a nice prize money, so we can decide how much goes to which first place, second place, and third place winner, type of thing, right? So that was a suggestion, and obviously the open section events started happening, but the entry fee for them was always a bit higher. But then the federation decided, okay, fine, since you're saying that we can at least now, instead of topping up that huge amount that will be normally required, say for instance, when there's 10, 15 players that are taking part, it always seems as if more money would need to be taken from what needs to be going to the federation's coffers, like what needed to be sort of the funds raised by the federation or the funds raised by the hosting school. Because here's another thing. So there's actually two things. So another way that this thing used to be done, it used to be this way. So it was that 100 Rand entry fee that was charged to all players. And then in that 100 Rand, the hosting school, so for instance, the event was being held in Uplands, right? In that event, 60 Rand from all the entries would go towards Uplands, the hosting school, and then 40 Rand would go to the federation, right? That's the federation's ways of raising funds. So now it'll feel like the 40 Rands would actually be chowed by the prize money for the open section if we did not suggest the increasing of the entry fees for the open section. But then now after the suggestion that we at least charge a bit more entry fees for the open section so that we can at least have some a good amount of prize money, the federation decided, okay, so we can just assist you by this now, at least guarantee a certain prize money, and if your entries don't make that up, then we'll top it up. And we were like, okay, cool, that sounds good. Now that is the treasurer for the Uplands Federation at the time. I think at the time it was Karen who was the treasurer. I don't remember correctly, but I remember she was in the committee. Fumaluka was in the committee. Dumisankos was in the committee. I was also in the committee, and I think we were the people that are having those discussions. So that was a suggestion, and but then now. After the death of the federation, it seemed like whatever money was collected for the entries became the prize money because there was no federation to top it up, right? So we would host our own tournaments, and if we had a certain amount of money collected for entries, would talk about how much it is, obviously earlier on, and let everybody know, and then we discuss how much the prizes would be, and we let everybody know what the prizes would be. Exciting. So on our way in with Muzi Ngambulu, we're counting the number of entries in the open section. We see that the advert says obviously it's 100 Rand entry for everybody else, but 250 Rands entry fee for the open section. And now we're looking at the number of entries in the open section, and we're seeing, flip, there's 30 people in the open section. How much is that? Oh, 2.5. That's like 7,500 Rand. He's sure, because you know Mr. London, you know Muzi, he's always sure that he's going to win an event whenever there's an event happening in the in the region, like or within Mbombela or whatever. But yeah, I mean, in the last few tournaments that he participated in, I think he did very well. I mean, though there was not that good prize money, but it still did go very well. I think there was a round robin where he won all 9 rounds, 9 out of 9. And there was one where he got, 5 out of 5 or something. But yeah, so every time he just performed very well. So he's like, yeah, if they make a first prize 1,500 Rand, I'm gonna flip, because with such entry, with so much entry fee, so much entries, and so much entry fees collected, there's no way. I'm like, but you're not gonna say anything anyway. He's like, yeah, I mean, I will talk. You'll see. I'm like, it's fine. I mean, you know Muzi, right? He sort of picked up the drama of the strong players, but not their skill, right? Like he's so dramatic he's like the top players' drama, because he used to hang around with players like Bukit and Vanele and others. So, and I know, top players would like to be dramatic sometimes. They are the center of attention, and they are, and that's actually, it's okay for them to act like that. But then, I don't even know why I'm saying this about Muzi. So now we go in there, we are noticing how far the venue is from the main road. We actually had forgotten how far Uplands is, and we drive in and we are thinking, how many more kilometers out of, like, let's go driving into a farm, and it's a long distance, it's quiet, it's like, phew. And we're thinking, oh, if a car breaks down here, like, you're not going to be able to get any assistance anytime soon. Like, if anything happens here, we're going to be definitely late for the event, and we just keep on going in. And when you get to the entrance, again, it's like another, like, I don't know, half a kilometer or what, you mean distances, but it's a bit of a stretch also. So we get to an entrance, we ask which side we're going, we're directed to the side of the tournament, we go in, and here, so now we're in the tournament, right? We're in the event, we're in the venue. I collect my equipment, my stuff. I go in there. I know I'm going in as a player, but I'm also going in as, chess and wine. Yeah, because even my t-shirt says chess and wine. So I'm just recording, obviously, capturing the environment, the feel of the event and so forth. And then somebody comes to me and tells me, you're not allowed to record here. I'm like, what? Uppity time thing. I'm like, okay, why? All right, so I stop the camera and I'm holding it like this. Yeah. Why am I not allowed to record? What's wrong? So the lady says, yeah, it's the school's policy. You're just not allowed to record, please. I'm like, wow. So no parents will be allowed to take pictures or videos of their kids playing chess here today? Well, anyway, I hear you, but I'll try to confirm with someone. I see you an overseer probably, but yeah, there's probably someone else that I can speak to. But the organizer of the event is Stiri Takawira. I'm wondering if she's related to Eric Takawira. Anyways, so yeah, and then there's also, who else? There's in the event, obviously Fulma Luka is there. I'm thinking, okay, I'll speak to Fulma Luka, is the president of Mpumalanga Chairs and Uplands Chairs, as far as I know. Then yeah, so I'm like, oh, I'll speak to Karen even. I'll ask the chief arbiter, is this true that we're not allowed to record here? So I just move around, and before I know it, Fulma's like, oh. Yeah, then the lady, while we were talking, the flashlight was on. So the lady's like, please stop recording. I'm like, what are you talking about? She says, yes, please stop recording. I'm saying you're not allowed to record it. I'm like, I stopped recording. What do you mean? Please stop recording. I heard you. I'm just going to confirm with the chief arbiter and the people I know who are actually in charge of the event. He's like, yeah, but you're still recording. I'm like, come on, look at the time. The clock stopped. And I realized she actually sees the flashlight is still on, so she thinks I'm still recording. I'm like, it's just a flash, I'm not recording. And she's like, oh. And then Fumi comes to me and is like, hey, Eddie, I need to talk to you. Pulls me to the side, as if it's like something very serious. I'm like, what did I do? Or what did you do? Or what happened? Type of thing. So we moved to the side and tells me, Ish, there's a policy in the school where they say you're not allowed to record because there's people that have signed, where they Poppy Act thingy, where they sign out to say, if you don't want your pictures to be shared on social media and there's a family that says they don't want their pictures or videos being shared on social media. It's part of the school's policy. I'm like, oh, okay, snap. It's fine. I'm just going to be a player today. It's okay, right? Like, I'm okay. I'm only a player. I'm here to play anyway. That's why I didn't even come with the team. I didn't even come with keys to this tournament. I'd come alone, and my little nephew asked, can I come with you? I'm like, I have a reason to leave him. It's fine. Because we're going to come back late anyway. So it's okay. So we go. So actually, that's the only person I went to the event with. That is my little nephew. And then we are there. And I tell Fumi, no, it's fine, then I'll just be a player today. I'll try to pack up my set. But then now, while we were there, I see parents taking pictures of their kids while they're sitting on their table, like playing sitting on the board. I'm like, wait, does it mean some people know who the people that don't want to be captured are and some people don't? So they're telling, because I know, right, like me, whenever I'm in every event, I think everybody is always trying to make a name by shushing me. It's like I'm that person, like if you can tell Eddie off, you will have made a name for yourself or something. Or if you can try to be oppose Eddie in public, you'll be like, you would have made a name for yourself. I mean, you would earn some stripes. I think some people earn positions in structures just by, I'm just letting you know, just by being able to stand up to me. So funny. I'm kidding, but I had that feeling that why is it like some people are just trying to control me? So I go to the organizer of the event, the Tirita Kawira, she's from Uplands. She's the chess teacher, the chess coach or whatever, responsible for the chess. So I asked the Tiri, so now tell me something. So your school does not allow people to take videos and here and so forth, but if I have, say, an administrator that we've arranged an interview with, are you saying that I can't do it in these premises? I need to actually take it out? Or if we do it in or do you have a private space that you can give us to sit and do interviews? It's like, oh no, but you can have a space for interviews, but that thing about you, I've checked it with marketing. You're actually allowed to take pictures. It's fine. You can actually go ahead and take pictures and take and record the event. You're allowed. I'm like, oh, okay. But I was no longer into it anyway. I'd lost interest. So now I'm thinking about the interviews that I've wanted to do, like an interest in doing with people. I'm like, oh, okay, then it's cool. If I'm allowed to do interviews with people, then it's cool. So I just picked a few people that I was doing interviews with that were willing, and that was it. So so that's why you saw those few interviews, and those are the only interviews I did there. But because I was also playing, not because I'm upset. No, I'm not. So okay, fast forward, event continues. It happens, right? This is going to be a long story. Brace yourself, honestly. If you have a glass of wine, drink it. If you got a glass of water, drink it. So there I am. I am there and I'm drinking water right now because there's this kid that asked, so if I do a segment for chess and wine, do I also have to be drinking wine? I'm like, no, man, you can also drink water. So I'm drinking water to let you know that you can actually do that event. Your segment, drinking water, it doesn't matter. So basically we're there, right? So they're having the opening ceremony now. They're inviting everybody to be quiet. Opening ceremony, boom. I'm like, first big event of the year. We see over 200 people in the venue. There's a lot of parents. And there's the executive committee of Uhlands Chess. I'm like, okay, I'm looking to see all protocol observed. It's like a formal opening. We'll see the president of chess speaking, addressing us. We'll see who else? We'll see, we'll be obviously introduced to the structure formally for the first time because we've never seen the secretary. We've never seen, I don't even remember what the secretary of chess, of the structure looks like. Like most people don't even know who is who in the structure, right? I'm thinking there's an opportunity. Like everybody's here, so we wait to see. But there's people talking that we don't know. Obviously there's a kid from the school that comes to do an opening, and there's another person from the school as well. I don't remember their name, and they are also doing their part. And then the chief arbiter now speaks, talks chess, nothing protocol. No, the thing is, none of them observes protocols. None of them says, we recognize the presence of the president of Atlantic chess and so forth, or whatever. Like, it's just that way. Until I think at the end, when everybody's said their piece, then someone, obviously, a teacher from Kuro, a chess coach and manager, someone responsible for chess and Kuro, that is Mr. Tato Matebula. He gets given the mic, and he speaks. And as he speaks, he introduces the executive committee. Or he takes actually the platform to introduce the executive committee. And we find out that he's also now part of the executive committee as head of schools. Wow, okay. I mean, it's just that a bit of changes after the elections, right? Interesting. And then now he introduces the executive committee. We're waiting. Like, some of us already know the structure, but we're waiting to hear. Okay, the president of Mpumalanga. Okay, Mpumalanga is here. Okay, we know the president of Mpumalanga and he's the president of Uplands and Chess. And then he comes down to say the president of Uplands and Chess. Miss Tobek and Singwane, boom. Big bombshell. I look around to see if any faces are gaping, but oh, okay. It's like everybody else is like, like they don't care, they don't understand what's going on. And then he goes on again to introduce Pumalanga as the deputy president of Tanzania Chairs. Okay. And then he skips the secretary because I think she was not there. The secretary, and then he introduces the treasurer, Nobile Manana. And then the head coach, Muzingambula, who was not up there in the front with them, but at the back. I see some people looking for him, the parents looking for him, so schools chess leaders looking for him because they need the head coach to work with in order to develop chess in their schools. Oh, and then they find him. I think somebody also identified somebody else as the head coach, like they didn't quite see who Muzi was. So yeah, that happens. I've got lots of questions in my head. I run around. I want to speak to Fumi. Hey, can we do an interview? You guys just dropped the bombshell there. Like, do you want to just speak about how the changes were made, why the changes were made, and all of that? And it's like, yeah, but we can't. I can't be both president of the province and the region. I'm like, I've been saying that, but then when did that change? How many? But it's like, but can we go talk outside? It's like between me and you, or you and the podcast. I'm like, you and the podcast, man. Like, it's just you speak to the podcast, you speak to the chess community. I mean, I think they'll be interested. It's like, no, I'm not interested. I'm like, okay. And then he moves, he leaves, right? I'm like, okay, then if you're not interested, who else can I speak to? He's like, speak to the president, speak to Tobega. So I go to Tobega. It's Tobega. I hear that I see that you're now introduced as a president. Do you care to have an interview and then we speak about that? And she's like, no, not today. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, this committee is so funny. So now I go to Tato, right? The person that introduced them. And I'm like, hey, Spad, Matabul. Yeah, obviously, but and he can we have a discussion now and speak about this, where you explain obviously the structural changes of Tanzania chess, and he's like, yeah, buddy, we'll do it after the break. No, we'll do it at lunch. We'll do it at 1. I'm like, okay, cool, glad. And then I look around and thinking maybe any member of the executive could be fine. So I approach Nobile Manana, Mr. Manana, you've seen the interview with him. Can we talk about this thing? He's like, what do you want to talk about? I'm like, I want to understand the structural changes. But the executive has the powers to make such changes. But I'm not questioning the powers, I'm questioning the communication. Like, wasn't that meant to be communicated? Because there's groups, there's every sort of platforms where people can actually introduce such things instead of just dropping it there. Like, people must know who their leader is, right? Right? Anyway, so he's like, no, man. And then I see him, Fumi calling him to the side. I think they have a bit of a meeting, 5-10 minutes. They're talking. And then he comes back. He's like, okay, no, it's fine. We can talk. I'm like, cool. Then yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick one with Karen. I'll come back to you. So we did it. You've seen the interview. If you haven't, go check it. Go look at it. I see that people are not watching it. You need to watch it. It's interesting. It's a lot of interesting things being said there. Anyways, especially in terms of the fundraising strategies and how to make some of the changes that are suggested. But yeah, anyways, event continues. I'm a player. I'm like, I'll just continue playing. So I focus on playing chess. Game 1, I'm paired with this little kid from Meridian, Carino School. I coached there once, I think. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to come. He's not coming. It's like, hey, Pella, I've got an interview planned. I asked the arbiter, so what's the default time? She said 10 minutes. I'm like, cool then. So I wait. And then she comes up later on and she taps me. It's like, it's 10 minutes. So the default is up. You can go claim the point. I'm like, I'm not happy with the point because it'll affect me in the tie breaks at the end. But anyways, I am happy with the time that I've earned. I run to the table. And as I was about to record the results, actually after recording the results, I look back, I see they're talking to him like, and he's sitting, he's busy saying, no, I thought I was playing in the A section. They're like, no, you are playing in the open section. Oh, you are playing in the open section. He's like, no, but I registered for the A section. But they tell him, your rating does not allow it. And I'm looking at it, but you're supposed to be playing me and you already lost on default time. I was like, I would have lost anyway. I'm like, yes, but I mean, it would have been nice to play so I can at least end that bit of a rating and obviously the tie break point. We leave it. I was like, it's fine. I'm like, okay, but I also need the time, so I tell him I need to do things. So I go set up and do an interview. I come back for round two. Round two, I'm playing Onyinye. I'm playing another player, Onyinye. I think if I have a picture of him, I'll show you. I like this boy's hair, man. I love Onyinye's hair. So I'm thinking of my hair grows bigger, I'll make it look like Onyinye's. So I play Onyinye from Kuro now, second round, and I see in round one he just won against Malibongwe. Okay, the boy's strong and very patient because Malibongwe is this kind of guy that even if he's a rook down in the end game, he will still continue playing. But Onyinye held on. I'm not saying that was the position. I'm just saying that's basically that thing of a player not giving up and Malibongwe being that patient guy will obviously end up accepting a draw even though you see winning, but you are playing someone that wants you to actually prove it completely on the board. Once you see a checkmate. Yeah, but the boy ended up winning. So I'm like, was this boy he can play? Yeah? So let me just play something serious, something solid with him and not try to do anything exciting, not try to be rash. So we play a very good game, but in the middle of the game, like he gets a pawn down and he looks at the position, his pieces are not well developed, and he just, I resign. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, thank you. More time for interviews. I just rushed out and get a chance to do another interview. I come back, round three. I'm playing against, who am I playing against in round three? I think I was playing against Manan, right? I think I was playing Nobile Manan. Yeah, it's because Karen came to call us while we were in the middle of an interview with him. I think, your game is about to start. I'm like, your game, or she's saying your games as in general, but when she said your game, I'm like in my head. But I thought maybe she just meant, the player's game and me, the interviewer, can just continue. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, it's like, oh yeah, we're coming. You see the part in the interview where we get called out. So we run out and boom, lo and behold, we are paired against each other for round three. Very good, very interesting. And it's like a tough game already, like in round three already. Because I know Manana, like most rated tournaments that I've faced him on, I'm lying. And obviously club tournaments, like in Bombela, he would actually obviously win a lot against me. But in like some serious long games, I think I beat him in the last one in the track Bombela event a while back. But yeah, Manana is a tough opponent, and his rating also says speaks volumes. That's why he's like a 1750 or something. So yeah, we play a very interesting game. I think I'm going to try and do a segment on that, where I actually show you that game. Interestingly. But then the game is so interesting that at some point he's running out of time, he has run out of pawns, and he's a bishop, actually a piece down, but an exchange down. So I've got a rook and a bishop and a knight, and he's got a rook and a bishop, I think. That's basically that was how it was. Yeah, but then I've got 3 pawns and he has no pawns. But then he's still fighting. And he's like kind of making me feel like maybe I should offer a draw. I'm like, no, I mean, it's just chess. Anyways, let's play it through and see what happens. So I keep playing until everybody comes and hovers over the board. And I'm like, at some point I've got 30 minutes and he's got like, 8 minutes or so. But we're still playing. But with the way that he's fighting, I'm thinking I have to be focused. I have to focus here. Like I see a tactic somewhere where I could actually have simplified things, but I see a potential for a draw or something that I was not just happy with. But I just continue to play. We continue to play, and at some point I realize I'm on 9 minutes now, and he's on 3 minutes. I'm like, damn, how time flies. The moment you start focusing on the game, like time flies. I'm like, hey, okay, maybe I need to make some decisive things now, make some decisive moves. We'll play until it runs out of time. I'm like, out of time, out of pawns. Yeah, anyways, I win. Exciting. I'm like, whoa, and then we go out and people are like, ha, ha, ha. I hate it, but I love it. When people start acting like I don't know how to play chess. When you go out, people are like, we're not going to hear the end of it. I'm like, maybe this is part of not hearing the end of it. So yeah, it's on record now. I actually won that beautiful game, and it's I'm gonna put it on record by actually playing it for you. Yeah, we wait again, and now everybody's like, Eddie must be paired with me. If he gets me, he's not gonna win. I'll show you how to deal with an arbiter. Otherwise, I'll show you how to deal with a podcaster and whatever. This man is not a player. I'm like, you guys, how? I've already proven myself. How I won against a player, one of the one who's strongest, like, stronger than you. I'm like, man, come on. And then yeah, so some of the players that asked for it got it. Like Ali Piri asked that if he gets paired with me, and he actually got it. Like I told him, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get, and he got it, right? So he got paired with me. So in this way, I made him in the bathroom, and I'm like, bro, you're paired with me. Ish. Yeah, it's unfortunate for you. We go in, it's like, I'll show you. I'm like, hey, okay. We play a very good game. It's nice, but at some point he gives me that what do they call that pawn? It's I was playing black, right? Yeah, he gives me that b2 pawn where players usually use it to trap the queen. Like if your queen captures that pawn, they usually trap it, right? So I calculate, I don't see a way of him trapping my queen on that. I'm like, if push comes to shove, I'm exchanging my queen for 2 rooks. I'm taking that pawn. Then I go for it. I take the pawn. Poop. I come out. I managed to come out. Like all of his plans to try and trap my queen kind of led to his downfall. Because with everything that he does, he leaves something hanging, and I capture. And at some point, I had taken 3 pawns before he'd even taken a pawn from me. All in efforts to try and trap my queen. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Because I've always seen that my queen can actually escape from this. But his focus was getting the queen. I'm like, At the end, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I've got so many pawns. Any exchange here for this queen will be good for me. I exchange a rook, the queen for a rook and a bishop, I'm still fine. A queen for a rook and a knight, I'm still fine. I don't mind. Let me just play chess. No stress. I continue playing. I capture lots of his pawns. Time is running out now because he has to think through a lot of things. It just goes on. But anyway, why am I focusing so much on the game? Yeah, at the end, he stops notating because he's given up on the game. I tried to call an arbiter on him so that they can at least, because sometimes, those players that don't notate, that actually they would play you out, because now when they're not notating with 5-second increments, they can gain the time, and with the gaining of time, they gain confidence, and then they'll start focusing and they'll come back on the game. I've seen it happening to me, I think a while back, where I ended up accepting a draw from a winning position. But so yeah, I feel like the pressure is only on me now because I'm notating, he's not notating. And my time is running lower and his is increasing. I'm like, no, I want to call an arbiter. They're like, what are you calling an arbiter for? I'm like, you're not notating. They're like, but I've got less than 5 minutes. I'm like, no, we've got 5 seconds increment here. I'm like, Then he plays one move and he resigns. I'm like, yep, that's what I was waiting for. And then we go on now, like straight 4 wins. After that, I'm like, I have nothing left to prove, guys. I've already beaten your strongest, the 2 of the players that you trusted. Maybe the only ones or 2 remaining was Dumtovis Maluka and Muzi Ngambulu. But Muzi just lost to another player that is lower rated, and I'm like, you're not in the tournament. But he kept on, why don't they give me you, please? I want to play you. I'm like, but I'll crush you. I'm like, no ways, I will never lose. Let's keep this on record. Muzi said he would never lose a game from me. And then next time he loses, I'll come and relate the story. But anyways, we go on. Everybody's begging the next player that I'm paired with to please. Eddie cannot win 5 out of 5. Please, make sure you win. Please. And I get paired with him, Toby's Maluk, and he looks worried. I'm like, Toby, you don't need to worry, man. I'm not playing for anything anymore. I'm playing for a draw. The stress is only on your side now. Like, honestly, what else do I have to prove? I'm already in the prizes. I've already proven to the players that I'm a player. What do I have to prove? I'm like, so I'm playing a very good, relaxed game. I'm looking at possibilities for draws. We're playing. He becomes a pawn up, but it's it's a position that can be drawish. Not like I'm trying to force an exchange now of the queens, an exchange of the rooks, an exchange of the pieces, so we move to the end game and then we can just simplify and draw. But oh, my simplifications was not so simplifying. Yeah, because in the simplified version of the game, I ended up losing, having more weak pawns than before. Because at some point we had some equal pawns, but mine were weaker than his, and my rook was already on in his side, trying to. Anyways, long story short, I ended up losing that game to Mtobisi. We wait outside now. So here's the interesting part of the story, right? Like round 5 is finished. Mtobisi has 4 points. I have 4 points. Manana has 4 points. And is it what's his name? Is it Robert? What's his name? I don't remember the other player, but I'll put the results up there. He's also on 4 points. So there's like how many of us on 4 points? 4 of us on 4 points. So now we're waiting to obviously for the conclusion of the game. The other junior sections have already finished playing. While we were waiting outside, this is the part of the story that is interesting. We get called. We're waiting in the hall, in fact, actually waiting for the games to end. We get called outside by Ufumi Manule. He calls us out. He says, wait, I should have started this story differently though. Because it actually puts, but anyway, so yeah, I'll explain why I'm saying this. So yeah, so he calls us out, we go, and as we go there, I see some of the players coming out while we were there, and it's some of the players that finished with 2 points like him, right? And as they're coming out, he's like, bruh, I don't even know why you come here because this doesn't affect you anyway. But it's fine, come, I'm joking. But when he says it doesn't affect you anyway, I realize we're speaking about the prizes. So he comes and he tells us, okay, so gents, here's the thing. We obviously collected so much for the entries. We had so many entries, and we had decided that the prize structure was going to be as follows. First prize was going to be 2,000, second prize 1,000, third prize 500. But that is because we could actually include all the money, but it's like this because we have taken out some money, 100 rand from each player to cover the Chesa player registration fee. Oh, okay. And when I said that, it's like, no, I'm actually mentioning this here so we can discuss it together and reach a conclusion that we all agree on. You see what I mean? So yeah, if we agree on one thing, we'll do. If we agree on the other, but I just want us to debate about it and come up with the conclusion that we're all happy with. I'm like, okay, fair enough. But I would like to speak, obviously, and I'm actually on this point because there were. Chess South Africa is crazy because number one, normally the players' registration fee used to be collected by regions, right? Like on the first tournament will be the registration tournaments where the entry fee would obviously include that 100 rand for registration, but obviously it's 200 rand per player for us, our senior players or adult players, and 100 rand for the juniors. But yeah, so the entry fees normally on the first tournament would include that. And the regions will collect and then pay out on behalf of the players to Chess South Africa. But Chess South Africa this time has stated that they are collecting it directly. So players were given account numbers, there's account details that are issued out that if you want to pay, you can pay for yourself, just like arbiters are paying for themselves. Now I've already paid as an arbiter, right? So now as a player, they're saying, okay, so players also, they must pay directly to Chess South Africa. And it's so interesting, it's so funny. Because you remember when, I remember there was a parent who are obviously the payers on behalf of the junior players who tried to raise a concern directly to Chess South Africa. You've seen the emails in the video. I don't know if I'll try and link the video up here, where this parent was being told off by the president of Chess South Africa, Under Levax, saying, you must learn to follow protocol. Like, he doesn't even focus on the concern, he doesn't even entertain the concern. He says, we've got protocol here. You go through club, region to province before it comes to national. Please follow protocol. So now, when people have complaints, they must follow protocol, right? Like, go through the proper structures. But when there's money to be collected, the structures are forgotten. We forgot about the structures. We just go directly to, it's a relationship between the player and Chess South Africa now. Like if I've got an account number for Chess South Africa and I can deposit money to South Africa, I must be allowed to complain directly to Chess South Africa, right? But not now, no. Chess South Africa is saying, oh, no. For complaints, you go to your region in your club. But for paying, hey, you come to us directly. And the funny thing is, they haven't even explained what the consequences for not paying are, because now there's like big debates as to what happens if one player doesn't play. Because again, in the discussion here, there was some misleading happening where someone was saying, yeah, if you don't play, if you don't pay your registration fee, our tournaments would not get rated. And if our tournaments don't get rated, it's like, we are killing chess in our region. So in the spirit of rebuilding our chess, let's pay. But no, Chess South Africa did not say that. No, so yeah, we're busy having this discussion, we're discussing this, and we are talking about it, and I raised this point of saying, isn't it a bit too late now to be talking about discussing obviously the distribution of prizes, and especially of taking away some money from the prizes and now paying it on behalf of the players to Chess South Africa? Because here's the scenario now, right? We already know who the winners are. It's one of the four of us. It's three out of the four of us, because there's only top 3 prizes. Everybody else that is there to voice their opinion, they know that they've already lost their 250. We know it was not a bet. It's not like we were betting there. It's not like we were betting your 250. But now you're presented with an opportunity to save 100 Rand of the 250 that you had paid for entry fee. So the opportunity is, we take 100 Rand out of the 250 that you have paid, and we pay it to Chess South Africa on your behalf as a player. We'll take down the names of the players that we hear, and then we'll send it in there. And players are like, oh, okay, let's see. That's like that's like a silver lining that we were not even expecting. Like, that's good. So others are claiming that, yeah, man, I knew, because when the price and the entry fee was so high, I knew it meant that there was actually this was a registration tournament, huh? So it meant that we also registered them for Chess South Africa. And Fuma Lucas saying, yes, that's what we normally do in the first tournament. I'm like, no, don't deceive one another. Because now it's like an opportunity for these players is presented, and like they're grabbing it. And this money, this 100 Rand that they're taking now, they're no longer taking it from the players individually. They are taking it from the players who have won the pot. Because there's already players who have won the pot, right? Because we are obviously collecting so that players can actually win money from this. So now saying from the players, it's now involving everybody to have an opinion on the collected prize money. To say, we can actually help you by giving you 100 Rand out of this pot, which was meant to go to these 3 or 4 people. What do you say about that? They were like, everybody would be like, everybody would say, yes, me, yes. That's what I was saying. It was a bit too late in the day for that type of discussion. It should have been had maybe after round 2, round 3, when everybody still felt that they had a chance at winning. Because the funny thing was when Muzi Nkambule himself, the head coach of Uplands Chess, was saying, yeah, no, I think it makes sense, because yeah, the prices are fine, and the 100 Rands can go to the what is this place, to Chess South Africa. That's what normally happens. I think that's the best way. We didn't. It's not like we knew that the money the prize money would be a certain amount. We didn't know what the prize money was going to be. Right? I think he said something like that. Yeah, but anyway, I'm relating a story, so I may be misrepresenting some people, but I am not misrepresenting their intentions. The intentions are clearly represented. It's how they were in there. So we discuss things, we discuss obviously versions of things happening, and the main point of it, because obviously there's a lot that I can say about this. The main point, I think, of this whole issue is that there was a clause or a part of the invitation. That's why I kept saying to these players, you guys don't read. And if you don't read, since you don't read, one day you're going to have whatever happened to what the Professor and Calvin Klassen happened to you. Because remember in their episode, they said that in their issue of the Cats on Masters, they said that they were not aware that you were not allowed to have a draw in 30 moves. You're not allowed to have a draw before 30 moves, right? So they have not read the invitation brochure of the event. So like these players are acting, maybe some of them have read it, but now obviously it favors them to be on the other side. But it's clear that they're acting as if they didn't read it. And I'm like, no, you obviously did not read. Because for me, personally, when I saw that there was 250 Rand entry fee when we normally have 200 Rand, I thought, oh, okay, why, and I read the whole thing just to try and find the reason and explanation to say maybe they are paying for us, they are paying for the Chess South Africa fee. But then there is a clause there that says no, but the players would have to pay for themselves. I'll put it up there for you. Yeah, we are not going to be paying. I'm going to put it up there because I can't remember word for word. But I remember it says that we will not be paying on behalf of players to Chess South Africa. Players will pay on their own. You will pay your own chess registration fee on your own. So it did say so in the invitation of the tournament. And the invitation of the tournament is where we also saw that the 250 rand was the entry fee. So when they're saying that they want to take from us who are there, so I'm asking, what about the other players who were playing? There were some juniors who were playing in the tournament. What about them? Because at some point, Fumi suggested, otherwise we just take that. Fumi's suggestion was, we take the 100 rands and we give it back to you as the players. Like, why are you even giving 100 rands back to the players when the players were paying that 250 rand for the entry fee, knowing that it was going towards the prizes? Why now would you suggest that you give back the hundreds to them? What's the sense in that? And if you're giving them the hundreds, what about the players who are not here? And the juniors, obviously, who also participated. And then I discovered there that, no, the juniors did not pay 250. They paid 100 rand. I'm like, why? Because it did not state in the invitation again. It didn't say that junior players will pay less. The invitation, it said, open section for players rated 1400 and above, 250 rand entry fee. Why did the junior players who are rated 1400 and above not pay the 250? And again, I'm not against junior players not paying 250, but again, it should be stipulated in the advert, right? And it wasn't there. So I'm like, okay, so who's collecting for them then? If you're collecting for us, shouldn't you be collecting as the region? Doesn't the region represent the entire chess community? And are you choosing to represent only us, the adult players, and to take from our entry pocket, the prize fund? Why not represent everybody equally? I'm like, no, the juniors, we've spoken to their teachers. The teachers will collect the money from them and take, it's difficult for the juniors to open the link and register. Like, come on, 2025, juniors, registrations and links, they probably can do these things better than you and me. They always on their phones. I mean, come on. So I'm like, so he says that. I'm like, I don't buy it, but even whatever type of argument you can come up with would not make sense because the advert itself, the brochure itself states that we will not be collecting money towards paying for your CHESA registration fee. So I don't know where this comes from. Yeah, and then later on, it comes up that the treasurer, Sengobile Manana, wasn't there. So he says that, this was a discussion we had with some of the organizers when we were sitting or in there, and we decided that we want to take the 100 rands. The treasurer was still playing, and that's why we could not include them in the. So they took financial decisions without involving the treasurer of the region. But anyways, that's an issue for another day. And now I've got so many questions in my head. I'm like, again, why is Mpumalanga leading this discussion when there's a president that was introduced? He's no longer the president of. So why is Mpumalanga Chess now leading the discussions about the event in Uplands region? I'm thinking, that's crazy. But anyways, so maybe it was Tobeka leading this discussion. Again, it would have been more sensible. But again, it was obviously not an executive committee's decision, not Uplands Chess executive committee's decision, because there was no executive sitting for it that made that decision. And and at the end, it was decided after like a long argument, like lots of screaming, lots of shouting, lots of pulling back and forth. At some point, they were like, Eddie, but you're the only one that says that says we need to distribute the money amongst the winners. You are the only one, and then you're wrong. I'm like, because I'm the only one does not mean I'm wrong. It's very common for a lot of people, a group of people, not to be sensible. Something called groupthink. I mean, come on, like people go with the crowd a lot of times. And and I just lost confidence to a lot of these players. Hey, and again, I lost trust because you see how selfish people are, especially in moments like this. Because these players were very selfish because they were ready to take away from the people that had won. They were ready to take away because somebody gave them the power, the authority to do so. Like, you can't trust people, man. Snap. But honestly, you can't trust people. People will use you as long as they've got something to benefit from you. And the moment they can't benefit anything from you, they just chuck you out. That's like, people don't even care about being reasonable. People don't even care about rationality. Like, it's only after round 5, when people already know who the top 3 players are, that we want to discuss how we are distributing the prizes, because it will not be objective at any point. It will be subjective. Everybody will feel like will actually look like they're speaking for themselves because they're in the prizes. And again, we are speaking against something that was written. Now, what's the reasoning in that? What's the rationality in speaking against something that was written just because somebody says, no, it's fine, we can take away, like you're giving you authority to steal. It's fine because the president said we can steal. It's fine because the president said we can take away, we can be unfair. Then it becomes fair because it's by presidential decree or deputy presidential decree anyways. But so basically that's basically how it was, and that's how it felt. It was like people don't care about reasoning. So yeah, and at the end, and it's not even like we were even trying to discuss about the money, we were discussing the principle of things. And then now you've got people like for me saying, yeah, the problem is that people are trying to get rich off of one tournament winnings. Like, who said anything about trying to get rich? People have won, people have finished, have played, people have finished with 4 points. And some people have finished with 2 points. We see you, some with 2.5, we see you 3.5. But why would you now want to make this personal and say, yeah, but you can't get rich off of 400 rand, 500 rand? Who said that was the issue? Because the issue is the price distribution. It's being discussed too late. And the impression from most of us was that it's going to be from the port. But anyways, so yeah, I think there are many things that are confusing. Are we supposed to seriously, are regions now supposed to collect from the players on behalf of Chesa or not? What's your opinion on that? Is it okay for players to pay directly to Chesa and yet not be allowed to have it to complain directly to Chesa about any issue that they may have regarding their chess federation, the chess clubs, the issues with chess itself, Chess South Africa itself, in fact? So the parents and players are not allowed to raise issues and raise concern with Chesa directly, even when Chesa is the one on the wrong, but they have to pay directly with Chesa. Is that okay in your opinion? Are federations now supposed to override, in fact, the statement by Chess South Africa to say players must pay directly to them and take it over and pay directly and pay on behalf of players? In that point, I'm thinking it's fine if the federations want to do that on behalf of players, but they should state it. They should let players know that we're going to be collecting on behalf of, and this is how we're going to be collecting. Because after I said that this is not the right time to be collecting this money, everybody's like throwing it at me now. Yeah, Eddie, so if you're saying that we're not collecting now, when are you saying we should collect? When are you saying we should get the money? What if we don't get it after? I was like, whoa, I'm not saying I accept your problems. I'm just saying this is not the way to solve it. I'm not trying to solve it, I'm not taking over the problems of Uplands chess, but obviously Uplands chess is taking over from Chess South Africa. Because my opinion now in this matter is that it is not Uplands chess problem. But if Uplands chess wants to take the problem, adopt it, they are free to do so, but they must be ready and have a strategy of how to do it. Not adopt a problem that is not theirs and then want to throw it at players as a problem still. You see what I mean? Because players are rejecting the suggestion that they had for solving it. Chess South Africa has decided to make the collection of entries their own problem by not including federations, because they should have stated that federations, what, do they not trust federations now? Do they not trust regions now? Because that's, you would laugh at some of the things that were being said there. Like, now we've got 9,000 rands that we need to pay to Mpumalanga Chess as a Tanzania. How are we going to collect that if we don't take? That's not the issue. The issue is the way you went about it, the communication. It was not clear. You did not communicate in time that you're going to be collecting this money from the players. And even so, you are letting us know only after we all already know who the winners are. You're making it personal. And on top of that, there's a statement in the advertisement of the tournament that states that you will not be collecting money or towards Chess South Africa. Why now does it seem like we're the ones making a problem out of, we are being against the federation, we are being against the structure, we are not trying to work with people in trying to solve problems? No! We want to work with people in trying to solve problems, but don't try to create problems where there are not problems. Work with us now in trying to organize a team to go to Moja Extravaganza. Let's have it official team representing Tanzania chess in the Mojo Extravaganza, or let's have a common transport or whatever. Like, you see, if the executive is committed to working with players, do something that benefit the players. And I see there's a lot of tournaments that are coming, that are happening, that are lined up. We've got a very beautiful calendar. That's something that benefits the players, and we love the federation for that. But not just surprise us with some decisions to take from us and then, hey, yeah. But anyways, I'll be happy to hear some of your opinions. I mean, if you want to attack me, feel free. Like, I don't know, people who are looking to make names from, but anyways, I've lost trust. Like, I've kept on we know people who kept on saying, Justice, Ripinga, Masinga, you kept on saying, yeah, chess teaches you logic. I'm like, from that discussion, logic went out the window. But we all know, like, when emotions are involved, logic jumps out. It's like, we can't stay in the same room together. So that's basically what was happening. But anyway, that's the story. And thank you for watching till the end. Good evening. It's Chess and Wine. But anyway, take note of my performance on that day and know that I'm a player. And you, Manibongo Nkosi, you kept on saying, there's no longer chess and wine. It's just wine. There's no chess here. Like, there's no chess in me. I showed you. You see, that was the point of it, to show you that there's a lot of chess here. Good night.